Kevin, first of all, thanks for helping me out with this and doing this. Appreciate it. I guess just to kind of start off with, you just kind of want to describe your job a little bit and talk a little bit about kind of what it is that you do as an instructor, and even more so, I guess specifically down at the school, what you guys do here.
Yeah, for sure. Basically, my job here is I'm what they call a stage check examiner. So, throughout the process of the different certificates that the students go through, they go through a total of 5, starting at private. Um, we're a 141 school, so we have a certain structure we have to follow for the FAA. So we have to follow a certain syllabus to the T, and they are broken up into different stages. So at the end of each stage, there's a ground and a fight stage. At the end of each one of those, the instructors send them to me, and basically we do a stage check there. Okay. Either pass or fail. The benefit of doing the instruction route is a lot of instructors joke because they actually call PIC passenger in command while they're instructing because they're not on the controls a lot. And I know a lot of instructors say, man, I just want to fly the thing myself. But from my experience, it heightens your skill level, it heightens your reaction reflex time, and to where you're just, in my opinion, an overall well-rounded pilot. You can see things. You're seeing things from a different perspective because you're not flying the bird. You're actually watching the other guy fly, figuring out what he needs to have done to facilitate his needs, and still be within that safety parameter that you need to be. Instructing, like I said, I'm a busy instructor with 4 or 5 students. You can pick up 80 to 100 hours in a month. You can instruct in 1 year, get your 1,000 hours, and then be right out there in the workforce. So literally, for something that could take you anywhere from a year to 3 years, you could be out in the workforce after instructing for a year in less time than just to do a 4-year bachelor's degree at university. Statistics show that a new 200-hour flight instructor is going to be more agile, I guess. He's going to be more on the controls, heavier on the controls. He's less likely to let anything get out of control when they say like the stats are like a 700 or 800-hour pilot. He starts getting complacent.
Okay.
But I think it's an industry thing too because 700-800-hour guys like, there might be some short-term itis going on there where they're like, oh, we're going to a couple hundred hours, they just want to get out of instruction and get out of the real world and stuff like that. So I think a lot of that plays into it, but the lack of experience is where the safety comes in, on different various things. And some of the real experienced pilots that have done some group nights here at the school, Arlen Miller was one of them, and one thing I told all my students about that was awesome, he said, was really good experienced pilots come from making really bad mistakes because you learn from those mistakes.
Sure.
So, and I'm the first to attest to that. I do things totally different than when I started with 200 hours. So, because of all the things that have happened to me in the last 2,000 hours. It's all one-on-one, depending on which program you go through. We have programs through the community college. Programs through like what you're doing with EBU, it's online. So all of your ground school is one-on-one, and then your EBU program that you're doing actually accommodates or adds to, I guess, your ground. The stuff that's with the community college, they get taught as a group there, but they're still doing one-on-one instruction here. So it's like whatever they're lacking on over there, they can come here and get one-on-one. Yeah. Which actually I think from an instructor standpoint is better and easier because, like I tell the new instructors when they're starting, you're getting in that helicopter with something you really don't know yet. So you really want to try to take some time to understand that person, maybe what's going on at home, what's in their life, how they react to certain things, and always be on guard, and be more specific to that each individual student.
Sure.
Because they're all going to react differently. So.
Absolutely. how short is your leash on making mistakes in these helicopters and stuff?
So there's a safety gray area there. For example, like when I went through it, I had instructors that were what we would say in the industry really on the controls, meaning like I never felt like as a student that I was ever doing that maneuver. He was doing the maneuver, and at the end of the maneuver, the instructor would be like, "Wow, that was really good. You did a really good job." But I'm thinking I didn't do any of that. I could really take my hands off the controls, and he was doing that whole maneuver. So I never got that sense of confidence, like if I go solo this thing, that I can do it myself. Because he never gave me the chance. So there's that fine line where you as an instructor got to give enough space to allow the student to mess up a little bit and then be able to see it, correct it. It's just a process that everybody has to go through. Students will be like, "Well, I flew with a new guy, and he was super heavy on controls, and I want," but everybody's got to put themselves in that person's shoes and say, "You're going to be there someday. You're going to be at those 200 hours. You're going to be instructing." And if the guy's still super heavy on the controls at 800 hours, he's probably not going to have a whole lot of students. They're going to jump ship and go with somebody that makes them feel like they're more relaxed. So a lot of it is just confidence and being relaxed. And you know that from flying. And when you go and do a check ride, the last thing you want to hear on that last flight for the check ride is how bad you did.
Yeah.
If you want, even if it wasn't the greatest, you're better off telling that student, "Good job, you're gonna rock this thing out.
Right.
You're not gonna waste $500. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And because it is, that could totally make or break the check ride.
Sure.
Because at the hours that we do here, the average private guys come out at 60 hours. The average hours, they know what they're doing. So, it's just how confident they are with themselves and how rattled they get in the check ride.
Sure. So I guess as far as that goes, where you've been around, the instructing part for a while, let's say you've done over 2,000 hours or so, what advice would you give new instructors? Or, is this after it's all said and done, is this something that you would definitely say, "Hey, this is the way to go"? If you want to build up the time and everything, or would you do anything different? Or?
No, I think definitely for the helicopter industry, instruction is the way to go. But I would definitely recommend everybody instruct. Maybe not staying to over 1,000, because some guys, man, they need to stop instructing after 500 hours. Definitely looking to get out of that, because I've seen people have an instructor. There's a good difference.
So you do see a difference in the industry if you do instruct. Better pilots are typically the guys that instruct.
Yeah, guys that don't instruct, they're not in it every day. Okay, like with air spaces and stuff like that. Guys that get out, let's say they do cherry driving, they're out in the mountains all the time, they do a lot of that stuff. These are the kind of guys that come in for a flight review, and the last thing they want to do is go into controlled airspace.
We can't make radio calls.
Yeah, they don't want to do it because they haven't done it there. So they get complacent. They get what I like to call job-specific complacency. So they can do what they do, logging very well, whatever they're doing utility-wise. But as instructing, you're doing private, commercial, instrument, like the meandering pull-down on rotations, daily, if not weekly, or whatever. So you're staying sharp on those skills all the time.
Gotcha. So typically, though, as far as instruction goes, you really don't ever see guys though. That's their whole career is instructing. It's just a means to an end.
It's a means to an end. It's the ladder. It's that. I guess however you put it, it could be the second rung or the sixth rung, depending if you go on certificates and grading. It's definitely the next level, or echelon, whatever you want to call it, to get to your goal.